Hey party people, and welcome back. Get pumped, because today I am teaching you the #1 skill to have if you are trying to live a healthier lifestyle. And that is knowing all the tricks and tips of how to read a nutrition fact label efficiently and effectively to cut down shopping time and to know which products are actually healthier for you. So let's buckle up and let's get our education on. Hey party people, and welcome back. If you are new here, hello, so excited to have you. My name is Nicole. I'm a registered dietitian, master's in sports nutrition, and I've been in the nutrition fitness world for well over 10 years, working with elite athletes and people in the ICU, people trying to live a healthy lifestyle, and now I am a wellness coordinator for a hospital system. And I am stoked because today is one of my favorite topics of all time, and that is how to read a nutrition fact label. While we're talking about all the tips and tricks, I have an example. So I have a pre-packaged quinoa that's a 90-second in the microwave quinoa because, convenience. And we're gonna go over this nutrition facts label so that you know in real time what to look for. And if you haven't already, press like, subscribe to this channel, share this with your friends and family, and let's go to tip #1. Let's start at the top of the nutrition list, and that is serving size. What I want you to know about serving size is it doesn't necessarily mean it's the portion size or the amount you're even going to eat. Everyone has a different size, shape, activity level, age. Some people are hungrier some days than others, and everybody needs a different amount of calories, right? So the serving sizes on things, I want you to think of it as a way to standardize similar foods. So chips, cookies, breads, peanut butters, they will all have similar serving sizes so that when you can compare brands, you can go side by side, see similar serving sizes so you can compare which one actually has more nutritious ingredients and better nutrition facts label. For example, on this quinoa pouch, a pouch is a serving size. Will I have the whole pouch for dinner? No, but I will have half of it. So I'll be able to half all of the calories, total fat, cholesterol, sodium, carbs, all of that, and that's how much of the nutrition of this I will get during dinner. The next part of the nutrition fact label that I look at is the total fat. And total fat is broken down into saturated, unsaturated fat sometimes, and trans fats. When you're looking at the label, you want to minimize saturated fat. Saturated fat comes from animal products. It is solid at room temperature, and saturated fat has the bad rep that increases risk of heart disease, stroke, and other diseases because saturated fat actually increases your bad cholesterol, and you do not want that. So it's recommended to have no more than 10% of your calories come from saturated fat, or no more than 20 grams of saturated fat in a day. But what does that look like? Think of 3 ounces of steak or a deck of cards of steak. That's gonna have roughly 7 grams of saturated fat. So a little bit over 30%. If you think of chicken breast, the same amount, 3 ounces, a deck of card size of chicken breast is actually only gonna have 3 grams of saturated fat. So that's why a lot of people will choose chicken over steak because it has way less saturated fat. When you're looking at total fat, you're also gonna see unsaturated fat sometimes. Unsaturated fat is actually good for you. It's found in plants, and that actually is liquid at room temperature. And unsaturated fat has been shown to help absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K, help cognitive function. It also helps decrease bad cholesterol and increase your good cholesterol. Let's look at the section that everyone is terrified about, and that is the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, just like the fat, is broken down as total carbs, dietary fiber, added sugar, and total sugars. Unless you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, don't really look at the total carbohydrates. But I will asterisk this, and if you are pre-diabetic or diabetic, or you know somebody that is, you want to look at the total carbohydrates because total carbohydrates is gonna tell you how many servings of carbs is in each serving size. A good number to remember is 15 grams of carbohydrates equals 1 serving of carbs. So let's look back at our quinoa. In 1 cup, there are 44 grams of total carbohydrates. Some people might be nervous about that number. Now, remember, that just means it's 3 servings of carbohydrates. So if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, that will be important to you. If you don't have these ailments or any other medical diagnosis that you need to count carbohydrates, Then what I want you more looking at is the fiber and the added sugar. Looking at the fiber, you want to bring home foods that are high in fiber, because if your diet's high in fiber, research shows that actually could
decrease perceived stress, improve mood, improve digestion, improve good gut bacteria, decrease blood pressure, decrease bad cholesterol. You can have a decreased risk of heart disease, decreased risk of stroke, and so many other things.
We love fiber. Now here's the dealio with fiber though. Don't increase fiber too quickly because you might get constipated. Make sure if you are increasing your fiber, you're also increasing your water intake. But that's for another video. Looking at the total sugar right below fiber, this is where people get super nervy. I don't want you looking at total sugar for majority of people. And that's because total sugar also includes natural sugars. And I'm totally fine with natural sugars. Natural sugars really just means natural carbohydrates, which just means natural glucose. If you look at a gallon of milk, milk is gonna have sugar in it. But it's not because somebody poured sugar into the milk, it's because milk has something called lactose. And lactose is a carb, which is a glucose, which is a sugar on the nutrition facts label. What I do want you looking at though is added sugar. Added sugar is actually going to be the sugar people dump into things. And just like saturated fat, try to limit it to like 20 grams a day or less if you can, right? Don't be too stressed about it, but that's roughly the number. And to picture that, think of a can of Coca-Cola. Half of a can of Coca-Cola is 20 grams of sugar. I know, it's terrifying. And what research shows is those who do have a diet that's high in added sugars means their snacks probably have a lot more added sugars, and they probably are missing things like vitamins, minerals, fruits, veggies, lean protein, unsaturated fat. Not so much the added sugar, but what they are missing. So buying foods with low added sugar is going to be a game changer in your health. One more thing about the carbohydrates and one more thing about fiber I totally forgot. When you're buying grains or when you're buying a carbohydrate food, look at the fiber and try to buy things that have 3 grams or more of fiber. So white pasta, not really gonna have fiber in it. Whole wheat pasta should have 3 grams of fiber or more. And that's the same rule I tell people with whole wheat bread. Make sure when you're buying your breads, it has 3 grams or more of fiber. Fun fact. Now let's circle back to those DV numbers, or the percentages on the back of the nutrition facts label. You may have seen them and been like, I don't know how to use these, which was me until I took a class and I learned how to use them. The daily value, just for your knowledge, is basically telling you how much of a nutrient or a vitamin you would need in a 2,000 or 2,500 calorie diet. For you to read a nutrition fact label a little bit more efficiently and effectively, if the DV or the percent value is 20% or higher, that means it's high in that nutrient or vitamin. So you want DVs of 20% or higher in things of unsaturated fat, fiber, protein, vitamins, minerals. If your daily value percentage is 5% or lower, that means it's low in that nutrient or vitamin. So you want foods that are 5% or lower in saturated fat, added sugar, cholesterol, and sodium. And that's really all you need to know about daily value. The last part of the nutrition facts label is the ingredient list. And I love an ingredient list because this is telling you what's exactly in your food. And it's in descending order, which is so crazy and so useful. Meaning the first ingredient on the ingredient list means it is the ingredient that's most found in the food, and the last ingredient is the ingredient used the least in this food. So in this quinoa package, what do you think is the first ingredient? If you said quinoa, no, I know, shocking. It's water, because it's already cooked quinoa, and you need a lot of water for the quinoa to double, triple in size. So first ingredient, water. Basically, I bought a pouch of water for $3. And then the second ingredient is quinoa. The last ingredient is sea salt. So that tells me salt was used the least. Look at the ingredient list and see where added sodium, added sugar, and added saturated fats are found in the list. I recommend people limit buying foods that have added sodium or added sugar in the top 3 ingredients. Will that happen every time? No, right? Especially if there's only a few ingredients in the food. And those are all the tips and tricks on how to read a nutrition fact label efficiently and effectively. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Be sure to press like and subscribe to the channel. I want to hear from y'all. And y'all, there's gonna be more food reviews coming because I miss reviewing a bunch of crazy foods. We're also gonna have a lot more workouts coming in hot. And if you haven't already, I'm on TikTok now, trying it out. Come follow me at Nicole Hoskins. And until next time, drink your water, eat your fruits and vegetables, and be kind to yourself and those around you. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.